Hello, I'm Mariah Ramharak and welcome to a brand new episode of In Case You Missed It on SportsMax and CEEN TV. Well, joining me in studio today is Trinidad and Tobago's Matthew Woolin. Matthew is also the captain of their Phoenix United. Matthew, welcome to the show. So happy you could join me on set. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me, I'm well.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
It's just been a long season, So we now finished playing Sunday, so just relaxing for a little bit.
Yeah, I have to maybe start on a negative note, not the type of Jamaica Premier League season you wanted, but what were some of the key takeaways this season?
Yeah, it was not a particularly well season for us. It was a difficult season, but we had a young group of players, inexperienced. Most of the guys played in high school with Mona, so it was just a transition for them, coming into the league. But I think we haven't improved, and we have gotten better.
Yeah, for sure. And you speak about the young bunch of players, Can you just tell me a bit more? Were there like a lot of local players within this setup, or did you have players coming into the setup from other countries? Can you just expand a bit more on that for me?
Yeah, the majority of the players were local based. It was the younger guys from Mona. We had one or two foreigners. We had a Brazilian, me, a Trinidadian, Colombian, So there's a variety of guys. We have a different mix of cultures. So yeah. We have a good blend.
Yeah, a good mix of players. Well, you're coming from my country, Trinidad and Tobago. Was it difficult to settling into the VER team based in Jamaica, of course?
No, I've been to Jamaica before. I've been here before with Craig, with Phoenix. So it was not really much of a big transition for me because I've worked with him and I've been in Jamaica. Even culture-wise, it's very similar to Trinidad,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love it here.
Yeah.
Well, you spoke about having that relationship with Craig before, knowing him through the Phoenix setup. But how was it working alongside Coach Lenny Hyde?
Yeah, both of them bring a lot of experience to the table, Craig with his agent and Lenny with his philosophy is very similar to me, So I really liked working with them. So yeah, it's been a positive thing and I've improved and grown a lot throughout the season.
Yeah, growing and of course is always a good step, a step in the right direction. Well, now that the season is over and I'm just talking about the JPL season, what are your plans? Are you just going to relax a bit?
Well, yeah, it's been a long season. We've started since September, We've played 39 games, 3 rounds. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot mentally, physically. So I think now, I would take a little bit of time and have a little break. And then I'll go again and prepare for the next season and wherever I go again,
Yeah, okay, good. Of course, it's always important to take a break, especially when the season was so hectic in the Jamaica Premier League. Well, you've also played in the TTPFL in Trinidad and Tobago, now in the JPL. So I have to ask you, is the level of competition different and in what way?
I don't think there's much of a difference, to be honest. Jamaican is known for their speed. They have a lot of physicality over here. But I think it's very similar. As I say, the Caribbean style is very similar. So there was not much of adjustment,
Okay. Well, that should have been easy on your part, seeing that not a major adjustment. Now this one, you were just 14. You made your professional debut for W Connection. Yeah, viewers, at the age of 14. I can't even remember what I was doing at 14. Do you remember that experience and what it meant to you?
Yeah, at the time, I'm just thankful for W Connection and Coach Stewart for giving me the platform to go out and at that early age, I don't think a lot of coaches have the belief in young players, So I'm really thankful for that. Also, at that age, I was not really thinking about who I was playing or where I was playing. I was just playing for the love of it,
Yeah.
And I just learned from the experienced players and yeah.
Yeah, and here you are now. Well, you're also very well traveled, well exposed when it comes to playing football around the world. You played for St Andrews Football Club in the BOV Premier League in Malta. What was that experience for you like?
Yeah, that was also a really good experience. Malta has a top league. It's not really well known in the Caribbean, but a lot of the teams play and qualify for Champions League. So there's a lot of foreign-based players there. And there's a lot of really good quality there as well.
Yeah, so that must have been a good experience for you. Now this one, last month, Matthew, I saw a video making the rounds on social media. An interview you did after a VAR match where you said, despite losing the match, I'm a winner. I don't give up. Where does that winning mentality come from?
I think that's always just been ingrained in me, Just as growing up, I never liked to lose. So I think it just stuck with me, and I think that's just my mentality in football and in life, It's like a never give up attitude.
Yeah. Where did your love for football come from, and why football? There's so many other sports.
I think I just loved football from the very beginning, There's actually a story with my dad. He just got home from work, tired. He just watching TV, and he just put his foot on the ball, and I was there ready to play. And I would not stop playing until I was tired and sweaty, and they had to beg me to stop to go to bed, So I just think it was just ingrained in me. My dad played football as well with his school. My mom played as well, and my both sisters were actually Trinidad national players as well.
Wow, so it's basically in your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you made your international debut against Angola in 2019. Do you remember what it felt like wearing the red, white and black and hearing the national anthem play as you got ready to represent your land of birth?
Yeah, it's always a pride playing for your country, When you're growing up, you always have that dream of representing your national team. So you want to play in World Cups. So just being part of that setup was really amazing and really a great feeling.
Yeah, and you've had 8 international caps. Which was the last match you represented Trinidad in?
I played against Ghana last year.
Yeah, and Matthew, this question everybody will ask you. After the bright start you had as a youngster, do you feel like you should have been a regular in the Soca Warriors starting 11?
Well, I'm someone who always believes in my abilities, I always look to keep on improving and getting better each and every day. So that's just something that I have in me. I always give my best, and whenever the chance comes, I will always be ready for it,
Yeah, and as you say that, I think about the new head coach of the Soca Warriors, Manchester United star Dwight Yorke. How do you feel as Dwight Yorke? As the head coach of the Soca Warriors, what does he bring to the setup?
Well, yeah, as a player, he's played for Manchester United, top teams. He's been around great players, great managers, even himself, such a wonderful player, So I think he brings that experience. He'll bring a lot of professionalism in the team. So yeah, it's a lot of good qualities and exciting times for Trinidad.
What would it mean to you to be a part of the setup and learn from a legend like Dwight?
Yeah, it'll mean a lot, honestly. Just bouncing off ideas and hearing what he has to say on the training field and his tips. It will be a lot, and I will look to improve once I get that chance and hopefully represent Trinidad,
Yeah, and we're speaking about Dwight Yorke, a legend in himself, but who are some of the players you idolized while growing up and playing the sport?
For me, I really loved Ronaldinho. He made me really enjoy the game. Just what he would do with the ball and how he'd play, and he'd always be smiling. Ronaldinho for me, yeah.
All right, and this question, because there's a lot of work that players put into the physical aspect of the game, but how important is the mental aspect of the game for you, Matthew?
Yeah, I think mental is honestly on par or on level with physical. As I said, it's been a long season, so not every day you're gonna be motivated to go and play, So that's where the mental aspect really comes in. You're not gonna have only highs, you're gonna have lows as well. So you need to have a balance in your life.
It's now time for my favorite part of today's interview. It's what we call here rapid fire time. So Matthew, I'll ask you a question. You have to say the first word or phrase that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Sure.
You sound so not ready, but let's go. All right, favorite moment in your career so far?
Definitely my debut in national team.
All right. One word to describe your style of play.
Controlled.
Okay. Do you watch or play any other sport apart from football?
All.
You watch
More
Wow,
play. I play every sport that I can play. Yeah.
impressive. All right. This one, and I hope it's not what I think. Favorite EPL team?
Arsenal.
Oh my God. The interview was going so good, viewers, but then he said that. This one, the last person you texted.
My mom.
Okay. What song are you listening to right now?
Umale. Come Closer.
Yeah? Well, I don't know that song, so it's probably one I need to check out. This one, your most used emoji when you're texting.
Definitely the laugh emoji.
Are you really laughing when you send that?
Yeah.
All right. Next one, night in or night out?
Night in.
Okay. This one, if you could trade places with a footballer for one day, who would it be?
It'd probably be Ronaldo, just to see his daily lifestyle. You know, he's very disciplined.
As in Christy?
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's see if this is the same answer. Favorite footballer of all time?
Messi. It's different, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so he would trade with Ronaldo, but he loves Messi. Okay, well, let's head across now to social media to see what they've been saying about Matthew. So this first one here, what's coming up? This was 13 days ago from Dynasty Global, JA. They say one Wuling. Anything you want to say to that?
They were just thankful for the support, you know.
Yeah, we have another one here. I believe this was about, what's the other reaction team? This one was posted like about 11 years ago on YouTube. All right, so Peter Henry says, he passes the ball really impressively, especially his lofts into space. Like the cheeky no-look passes, lol. It'll be great if he can develop into our TNT's very own midfield passing genius, David Silva. I hope he keeps working hard, but he doesn't need me to tell him that, lol. So Peter Henry has a lot to say to you, Matthew. You have to respond to this.
Yeah, I'm just thankful that he appreciates my game. Also, he really described my football really well. You know, that is, if you look at the game, that's how I play.
Yeah.
So it's a really good insight.
Yeah, wow. I feel like I can bring him in to do some analysis here for us. All right, this last one, this last reaction, this was about 2 years ago. Let's see what we have here. Robert Singh says, well-spoken individual, mature and professional. He was commenting on an interview that you did, I believe, could have been for Trinidad and Tobago. Again, you see the amount of support that you've been receiving. Anything you want to say to the fans?
Yeah, I just want to, thank them, those words of encouragement, really motivate me. As I say, not always you are motivated, but just hearing an outside perspective, sometimes that can really change your mind and really get you going and get you motivated to go again.
Yeah.
So, I really appreciate it and thank you guys for that.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Matthew, for joining me on today's show. I look forward to chatting with you again really, really soon. And, hopefully I'll see you on the national team really soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, folks, so that's a wrap for today's episode of In Case You Missed It. Be sure to like, share, and comment, and let me know what you thought about today's interview. Goodbye for now.